We'd love to have you come and visit us. We're open every Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 4. You email us or if you call us. And the information is on our website, fallbrookhistoricalsociety.org. Besides this campus, we also have the Retchie Schoolhouse, and that is open the third Saturday of every month from 1 to 4. And we also curate the caboose in downtown Fallbrook, which is open on special occasions. Hello, I'm Jeff Duhachek. I'm Vice President of the Fallbrook Historical Society. I'm also the webmaster and the docent coordinator. So I joined the Historical Society in 2017 after I retired. I needed something to do to fill my time, and I'm interested in history, so I figured I'd find out what this place is all about. So the reason that this site was selected for the Historical Society was that the house behind me. This house was built in 1895. It was built for the Reverend William Pittenger, who was a recipient of the first Congressional Medal of Honor. And he got this honor for being part of Andrew's Raiders in the Civil War. We've got 2 acres on this property. Besides the Pettenger House, we also have the main museum and the barn. Now the main museum houses our main collection on the top floor, and on the bottom floor we have the gem and mineral room, and then in the barn we have a bunch of agricultural exhibits plus 3 antique Ford automobiles. Welcome to the Pettenger House. This home was built in 1895. It was acquired by the Historical Society in 1981, and it was, at that time, it was restored to its present state. The furnishings are not original, however, they are period pieces. So there are many antiques in this place that are pretty unique. The bed, for instance, you'll notice it has ropes for springs, and we have typical accoutrements that would be in a bedroom at the time, like a chamber pot, a pitcher, since there was no running water in the house at the time. We also have some unique items like this old tricycle and a decoration made of human hair. Right. This is the dining room and also utility room. You can see the sewing machine in the corner. It was also an exercise machine because it was totally human powered. And one of my favorite pieces in here is the sewing chair behind you. It's a simple rocking chair with a nice little drawer added to it that just slides out from under the chair, where you can put all of your sewing notions. Yes, right. And you can see that we have the table set, and there's some flowers in the middle. Our curator of the Pettenger House, about every quarter, they'll change out the settings and decorate it for the particular season. Now in the kitchen we have some wonderful pieces. We have one of the prettiest wood stoves I've ever seen. We have an old ice box that's in excellent condition. And we have a nice sideboard with many features that were, pretty advanced in their day. We've got a nice sliding shelf here, and then it has a built-in flour sifter. But this is not just your ordinary built-in flour sifter. This is the deluxe model, because this one has a gauge to tell you when your bin is empty. Yes. And then we have some other things in the cabinet here. We've got a handheld flour sifter here, an old sugar tin, an old jar for grinding nuts. My mom had one just like this. This is our research section. In this section, we've got many books and stories. One of the things that we have are Fallbrook High School yearbooks going back to the early 1900s. And we also have copies of the old Fallbrook High School newspapers as well. And in these three-ring binders over here, we've got old photographs and then also stories about many of the founding families of Fallbrook. In addition to that, we have many history books about Southern California in general, and a few about Fallbrook in particular. We have files on a number of residents and businesses around Fallbrook. We have, yes, and we also have old telephone directories. Now, you wouldn't think that they're such a historical find, but they're used quite often by our historian when researching if a particular person lived in Fallbrook or not. So if they did, he might find them in the phone book and find out what their address was as well. We also have a lot of information on the history of Fallbrook agriculture. We have some annuals from the Avocado Growers Association, and we also have some information on the citrus industry as well. On the computer, we have the entire run of the Fallbrook Enterprise newspaper from 1911 till 1997. As well as a few of the Fallbrook Review newspapers that preceded the Enterprise. Now, all of the newspapers are in searchable PDFs, so you can come here and search the old newspaper archives for information that you might be interested in. Okay. All right, what you're looking at right now is a little vignette of historic buildings that at one time were in Fallbrook. Now, all of them except one are no longer in existence. The one that still exists is this white church here. This is the church where William Pittenger was a reverend. And this church was started in 1888, and it's still going today. Now, all of the buildings are built to scale. They're all built to their own scale, because if they were all to the same scale, the hotel in the corner, the large hotel in the corner would totally dominate. Now, each of the buildings has a little plaque next to it.
Excuse me one sec. We're going to cut that plastic piece off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Each of the buildings has a little plaque next to it that says when it was built and then when it was demolished. Now, the placement of the buildings has absolutely no relationship to where they existed in Fallbrook. They're just on here where they fit. Now, all of these models were built by a man named Gino Sumacall. He was a Fallbrook resident, He built this in his basement. I love history, and so when I retired, I decided that I wanted to volunteer at the Historical Society and find out what it was all about. And as I became more involved, I really like all the people that I work with here. There's a great group of volunteers here, and I'm constantly learning new things about Fallbrook. I'm not a longtime Fallbrook resident myself. We moved here in 2013, so everything I've learned since I started the Historical Society in 2017. And this place is rich in history. There's great stories. Come on down and hear some of them.